Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. We will discuss today with the sustainability leaders what kind of practices and reasons there are and possibilities to implement sustainability approaches in companies, what are the experiences and so forth. I'm from Estonian Business School, and then we have our discussion partners here, Ruul and Kristiina Esop.
Good morning.
Maybe the first opening question would be that what is your relationship to sustainability issues? Perhaps Kristiina can start, or Anu?
Yes, my longest experience has been leading a responsible business forum. That was a 7-year experience. So I have seen since 2015 how Estonia has evolved in this field, and also been interested all the time also what's happening globally in Europe. And then I have worked with companies, different kinds. I've worked with one company for a longer period of time, and then with many companies project-based, seeing some important development happening. So
and mainly on sustainability field.
Yes,
in those companies as well.
On sustainability or sustainability-related fields. Yes.
Yeah, great to have you here, Anu.
Well, my background is based on innovation and innovation process management. And for the past 4 years, I've been working with sustainable innovation concepts. And even now more and more with regulations coming from European Union. I work with companies from different industries, and I see on daily basis how innovation cannot exist alone anymore. So it has to be sustainable. So sustainable innovation regarding investments, new technologies, efficient processes, everything that considers these fields, yes.
Yes, it would be really interesting to hear your examples and practices and experiences on this field. But what about this sustainability? Is it so that it's a must, or people and companies must implement these approaches, or is it something that people and companies want? Is it, or is it both, perhaps? I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe I can open up the bigger picture a bit, as there are now 3 existential risks that are being researched, and how we can mitigate those risks. First of all, collapse of biodiversity, AI apocalypses, and World War III. So these 3 existential risks have been mapped out, and for example, the University of Cambridge has opened a center in order to investigate those risks and how to survive in this context. So the first one was collapse of biodiversity.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question about whether it's a must or whether it's a nice to have or something we choose to address.
Yes.
I think the answer is there itself, but it comes down to resources. As the Homo sapiens has designed economy based on creating value to Homo sapiens, and we haven't put any metrics into economic sustainability considering environment so far.
I see.
So now we see that it's becoming to be more painful. We have climate changes, we have scarce of water, air pollution, forest burning. So I believe that pain is big enough to
pain
take
is
action.
big enough. You see that this crisis can emerge, and it's very important to address them also. It's a must from that point of view. But Kristiina, what is your opinion? Is it with regulations and legislation that we can change the behavior of companies and people, or is it some other way, some marketing or awareness, or?
I think it's a combination of all of these you mentioned. Unfortunately, very often it's regulations, but once people realize how much the quality of life will change when we massively change this paradigm, then I think there will be more value in other approaches as well. So I think for me, inspiration from other sustainability leaders and people who actually live what they say. So people who live sustainable, maybe even much more simple lives, and are examples of how we can actually coexist, cooperate as a global ecosystem, as one like one population on planet Earth. So this is like my main inspiration, but unfortunately there still, I think, needs to be regulatory influence as well, because we see that it actually helps to make things faster sometimes.
Yes, so it is impossible to pass by these themes also when creating corporate strategies. And what do you have any examples how to combine these sustainability themes in corporate strategies, maybe from your experience?
Yes, actually, I don't even know any big corporations who don't combine sustainability into their strategies anymore, because it is definitely a must. It's market expectations, it's regulative, it's the expectation of planet Earth. So examples, for example, maybe one of my clients, AkzoNobel, is a huge corporation all over the world, 130 units. And its corporate policy, top priority policy, is sustainability. As in chemical or chemistry industry, the regulation is really, really tight. You have to be very careful what you use in your products, how you produce, how efficient your energy usage is. So it's all top priority, as it is beneficial from the business point of view. So it has to be beneficial, it has to be sustainable, it has to make all stakeholders happy, and the environment is a silent stakeholder in very many corporates by default.
Kristiina, any examples from you? Or perhaps you can also open it up from that point of view. Is it easy to measure? You have been dealing with these indexes, for example, and how do you measure this impact? You said that it is possible to combine it such a way to the strategy that it really creates business results which are beneficial to the company. It's not only investments that don't pay off to the company itself.
Yes, I think that accurate data for the companies is a great way to see where the changes are actually happening. And the same is on the societal level, when we actually understand and start talking about what data shows what, and not just maybe think about, okay, somewhere data is collected, but we don't understand what value is actually created. Then we should put effort to make the data speak for itself. With other aspects of sustainability. But yeah, I think data is crucial. And to have the right indicators to measure what is actually important, not everything. Sometimes there can be too much bureaucracy around sustainability as well. But I think during these discussions, we are more and more understanding what is really important and what's in the center of what is the most essential indicators we should talk about all over the society and within each company. And it's depending on where the main impacts are, of course, and where are the main challenges happening. Yeah.
So there are also regulatory requirements on reporting, and it's widening the scope at the moment.
Yeah. Maybe I can bring a specific example from, again, this chemical industry. AkzoNobel is, as it's like strategic prioritized topic for the company, and it develops its recipes for products before chemical components are forbidden by law. So they are running before the law, and this has meant many times in the history that Sadolin and Hammerite shelves are full of products in stores, and competitors cannot provide any products because they start developing new recipes when the law becomes valid.
Yes.
So,
I can give another example. Maybe a provocative question. How many people of the audience know why do they have to put waste in different boxes? What happens to their bio waste, for example? Do you know that? Why are we doing that? So this is like one way.
Do you know the answer yourself?
Yes, it's a long discussion.
Okay.
But basically, I know that with much of it, nothing is really happening.
It depends on the technology available in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So it always depends on the development of the country's recycling system and all that. But for why I'm bringing it out is that I think people should know it. Why to actually perform certain actions and what's creating value from the waste, for example. And that helps also to bring out the change.
So it's a question of awareness of regular consumers, if we can talk about people like consumers. So it's consumer choices also, and it means that it's affecting, like you said, Anu, to the choices in product development, for example, in companies.
And market expectation is more and more sustainable.
But how to create this awareness then within companies? Any practices? Because we can have a strategy which is stating these important priorities, but how to make it happen then in practice? What kind of approaches you have seen which work, or even examples that don't work?
Well, it starts. So the prerequisite is the mandate from the top level C-level managers. If C-level is the biggest sponsor or evangelist of the discipline, it has all doors open. But it requires awareness, knowledge, specific knowledge, as it's quite at the moment, in the beginning, it's quite difficult to grasp all the disciplines and possibilities and what is affecting environment, what is not affecting. Is it this solution better or the other one better? Or if I do something differently, maybe third or fourth step in the process is bigger impact to the environment than I did before. So it needs very specific research, collecting the knowledge and then making a decision based on valid data. Because the noise around the discipline at the moment is huge.
But where to start then? How to start? What are the first steps?
Impact analysis. What is the most material and the impactful? Where do you have the most impact? Where does your company have the most impact? And then you should start there. Not talk about firstly about small stuff, and this is something that creates more greenwashing on the field.
Okay.
But to talk more about main impacts, and also I think what Anu just said, that things are always evolving. That might be true today, tomorrow there might be better truth. Something has evolved and something is resolved in a better way, and that's also okay. You don't have to be perfect today, since this is constantly evolving field.
And the emphasis on the better truth, not an alternative truth, because the field is developing on daily basis and the answers are coming on daily basis. So we just don't know a lot at the moment, but we are working on it.
Yes, and you might have little resources available today. Maybe tomorrow you have more. You find some partners who help you scale something and so on. But it's important to discuss what are the main challenges and where and raise awareness of what the society is struggling with as well. And I think that this is very important for future leaders and today's leaders as well. To take themselves in the context of society.
Yes. You mentioned main challenges. So what can you name some main challenges for companies? Perhaps they are different for different companies, but are some examples in your organizations or somewhere that you have heard that what are the main challenges for implementing these sustainability approaches?
Well, they are very different based on location. So if we talk about Estonia or EU or a global company, they are totally different. From the Estonian average or small or medium company perspective, it's the knowledge and resources. And it basically at the moment comes down to resources. As a society or vast majority of companies are waiting for the big ones to find the answers, find the solutions, and break down the price of the solutions. And this is disruptive innovation, breaking down the prices. And maybe a small or medium, or even in Estonian context, a big company cannot afford to have R&D and I department running on daily basis, trying to figure out new recipes, new solutions, new components, new technologies. But if, for example, in Iceland, in the beginning of May, they opened up the world's biggest factory for collecting carbon from air. So
Iceland.
In Iceland, yeah.
Yes.
Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. A month ago, in the beginning of May. Yeah.
A small country, 200,000 inhabitants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So it is possible. I believe Estonia is a forerunner for military or defense tech at the moment. We have collaborated now with Ukraine, and Estonian startup ecosystem collaborated to address environmental issues in Ukraine caused by war. So again, war triggers innovation. It's a crisis. Environmental crisis triggers innovation. And if the companies or countries who have resources find the solutions, then it kind of takes the domino effect. So the other companies can start implementing best practices.
Yes, and even if we think that it should be very logical that everybody understands the main challenges, then I think the main challenge is that it's not very obvious that everybody understands that there is actually a biodiversity crisis, for instance, that there is a lot of waste in the world and nobody's doing anything with it.
So it's the awareness challenge.
This is awareness challenge, yes.
Still
what
today.
is the quality life? What are the main challenges? I think ESG or sustainability is old topic that hasn't been discussed. It should be normal part of business education. Elementary, we shouldn't talk about any terms ESG or what is the role of business to create impact for everyone, positive impact. So it should be very normal. But also regarding, we have people who are capable of building technologies. We have to bring these people together with those who would then want the outcomes of these technologies. Regarding waste, for example, what to do with plastic. When we have someone who knows what to do with the leftover plastic, then we have a group of people who will build this technology. We have these people also in Estonia who are excellent engineers. They are just looking for clients who would come to them and basically they will build what's needed.
Yes, and there was also a question about resources as a challenge. So there are some support money is available for some investments to some extent, definitely in EU as well. You mentioned global different approaches. So I've also heard this sort of claim that what if we do everything right here in Estonia or Iceland, but what if Chinese and India they don't do anything, so or US, so is there any point? Some people claim that we are just doing our life difficult here or making it difficult
there are
here.
very many dialogues going on in the means of is Europe playing itself into corner and cannot compete on the global arena anymore. Well, it's a global challenge, and there's only one thing Homo sapiens has agreed globally, historically, and it's money. So now there's another thing Homo sapiens has to agree globally, because yes, it has to be addressed globally. But there are signs that this is gaining momentum. For example, China has declared carbon neutral 2060, and they have built a great green wall.
Yes, I've heard about it.
In order to stop Gobi Desert from taking more land. So they built a lot of trees. It's a country governmental strategy. So they also see that it's a problem. The food is running out. The fields cannot grow anymore. The water is running out. The air is polluted. It affects health. So if it's painful for Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens starts to move. So I believe the momentum is there. Europe is the first to have a law for it or directive for it. I hope we can bring best practice on global level, and it is calculated that in order to address the environmental challenges, it only takes under 5% of global GDP. So it's about coming together and deciding to do so, and giving the resource to a unified problem, let's say.
Yes.
The right places.
Right places, but it comes down to the one characteristic of Homo sapiens that has not changed throughout the history, and it's greed. So, yeah.
But if you really can combine these sustainability goals to company strategy so that it creates also profit, profit, people, planet in balance in a company. So that could be the key. Yeah.
That's the key,
yeah. But about the challenges yet, what other challenges you see there besides awareness in companies? What has happened in your organizations, for example, that you have been dealing with? That, for example, you mentioned this impact measuring. So, is it an easy task or
I think
difficult
today
task?
regarding there is a dilemma regarding the regulations that are coming on because there is a lot of bureaucracy coming with that. So diving into that and finding the best is one job, and then I think just to inspire people. This is about company culture. And I think what Anu already actually mentioned, it has to come from the top level. So if it's not happening there, then it's a problem.
So we have to train the C-level people first.
Definitely.
In EBS,
yes.
for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe there's no curriculum in EBS at the moment for C-level or mid-level or even in bachelors that does not address sustainable environment, sustainable economy, sustainable value creation. So it's a very, very prioritized topic.
That is true. We have it also in accreditation regulations that we have to address them horizontally, these sustainability themes. But I've heard that there is this scope 1 and scope 2 impact and scope 3 impact. So any examples from that scope measuring still, that what were the challenges or gains or results?
Yes, these scopes are under climate changes and climate mitigation and refer to greenhouse gas emissions measuring. And scope 1 and 2 are quite easy.
Perhaps to the audience, then what are these scope 1?
It's about do we make any energy ourselves and how much we buy energy in order to make our rooms cooler or production working. That's easy. That you can get from the invoices Utilitas or Eesti Energia, Estonian Energy sends you. But the scope 3 is the most difficult, as there are these products and services you buy and investments you make and transportations you order, and it requires emission factors, and a lot of things have not been calculated yet, so you can't get the numbers straight and science-based. So there's a challenge in that, and also in scope 3 you have all the value chain. So how much you have impact on your upstream or downstream people you buy your tarned, your suppliers, yes, and your clients, how much information you get from them and how much they are willing to cooperate, how much they are willing to give out their critical data. So there's this challenge, but then all in all the scopes help to narrow down the focus. Some companies have put scopes for their first and second emission sources, some companies on the third scope. So they see that they can reduce their greenhouse gases in scope 3 because they have impact on their suppliers, for example, or they can dictate to their transportation partners which fuel they can use in order to deliver my goods.
Okay.
So there's this nudging going on, having power or influence over companies in the value chain.
Yes, and it's also one part of it is just creating balanced business as well. Growth focus always isn't sustainable, even when building something that seems like very sustainable solution. And because of what materials are used, for instance, and so on. So I think data is something that helps to clarify when that's the case.
I see.
So, yeah.
Calculated then based on
real
numbers.
I discussed with Nordic Milk a leader, and she said that it was really annoying to notice that the cows are actually the biggest impact to the to
they
their
don't own any cows,
and they don't own any cows themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. But still, they set a goal that they will also try to influence that how they can mitigate this impact of cows to the atmosphere.
Yeah, that means that if you have the power or resource to nudge this all over your value chain to the farmers who own the cows, you can audit them, you can ask how you regulate your processes, how you make them more efficient, so you can start this butterfly effect.
Yes. Then what about greenwashing or greenhushing? Any examples on that comes into your mind when we are see that this is an important topic for the consumers, so we can see that some bottles, they contain a text that this package is very sustainable, and so it doesn't really, it's maybe not the main impact of the package itself, but some examples on that perhaps, how you managed to avoid or almost fell into a greenwashing yourself perhaps.
Yeah, a lot of examples because we are still learning.
Yes.
And it's very different whether you do it on purpose or whether it's because you didn't know better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you do it on purpose at the moment, already you get a law suit.
Okay.
There are cases in Germany, there are cases in US. If a company claims to investors, for example, that they are compliant, they are sustainable, they have these numbers, and it during due diligence, it comes out it was a lie. Or it was not measured correctly, knowingly not measured correctly.
We know Volkswagen, for example.
For example, very huge court cases and very expensive already. So there are sanctions for doing that. But the other side of it is that we didn't know better, and it's okay because we are all learning. It's the learning curve we are going through. But for example, I've seen water bottles that state that even babies can drink this water. Yeah. So can't I give the other bottles to babies? But that's marketing, of course. So there's a difference whether you do it knowingly or by accident, or it's just like soft marketing case. There's a thin balance between it. But if you do it based on data, based on science-based targets, based on analysis, it's much stronger marketing and branding than any other washing, hushing.
Yes. Any examples, Kristiina, that comes into your mind?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe one development that I saw regarding this carbon offsetting market happening. So there was, when the climate change issues came, then a lot of projects started in forestry. And then there were these verifiers who then organized and verified projects that were planting trees. And then it was, I think, last year, the huge scandal exploded that 80% of these projects, approximately, of one major verifier, the leading verifier, I'm not going to say any names, but 80% of their projects are not really, they're implemented, but they actually don't say, they are saying the wrong things. So, for example, when you plant too much monoculture, then you can bring out effects for biodiversity and so on. So there was a lot of carbon focus, and not focus on other ESG issues.
I see.
So ultimately, this is a changing problem, and now a lot of verifiers are also addressing this. But it shows like how the market is developing. And how you actually should already, if you are implementing something today, take a systems view of all the ESG aspects, not just one, but all E, S, and G.
Yes.
To prevent these kind of things happening. So, yeah.
I see. I think we planted something like 907 trees in EBS last year, instead of giving some gifts to our guests, we gave trees that we planted in the forests as an example. Small thing, but still something. About this clean tech and innovation, so how do you follow in your organizations what kind of practices? How do you follow what is going on in the world and what is available technology that you could also invest in your companies? Any practices coming to your mind?
Well, yes, again, a lot of things going on, a lot of innovating going on in the tech field. For example, how to use steam, how to use water, how to collect heat, how to make production hermetic, so you don't have any energy going into waste from the pipes or gadgets. So maybe one example from waste industry. There's now technology to collect using AI. They collect waste from oceans. So AI is making or defining which is plastic, which is shrimp, which is fish. So
machine learning.
Yeah, machine learning using AI and collecting waste from water.
How did you come to know about this? What are your sources?
Well, I work with the tech industry. I read a lot. I Google a lot. I have to be familiar with industry trends. So a lot of investigation goes around considering trends. So yeah. Specific sources. Well, there are quite good texts or overviews about new technologies in Forbes, for example, or CB Insights does great reviews or overviews about new technologies, science-based targets. A lot of websites and sources you can use in order to follow the trends, maybe Futures platform, exploding topics, Google Trends itself. So yeah, a lot of digging around in the techs and working with different clients in robotics or chemical industry or even construction company. Just it's my job to know the trends and know the technologies to implement maybe while trying to make sustainable innovation or circular economy components happen in a company beneficially. Yeah.
Anything to add to that list, Kristiina?
Yes, I think maybe some type of technology that helps to monitor nature from far away, what's happening and what changes are necessary to increase biodiversity or enhance biodiversity, for example, that I've seen.
Satellites or?
For example, satellite-based, and then supporting software to even detect where to approach these challenges. And then to monitor what's actually happening. of course, from energy field, there's a new storage solutions, different types. Yeah, I think that each sector should monitor their technologies. And then regarding waste, I am observing this at the moment and seeing but this is still this thing that you can have technology, but you need other activities as well to actually make this a mainstream approach or to find the clients for these ideas and technologies, and it's equally important to have people implementing it.
And what are these activities? Some examples of these activities?
Cooperation. It takes for systematic change, system change. It takes many different industries to collaborate together. It takes sometimes financial sector to give money. It takes industry. It takes scientists. It takes new emerging companies inventing something new. Maybe some startup from different continent even, and these parties need to find each other, and that's
And of course, universities is one way to get to some networks.
It can act as a hub.
Yes.
Trying to bring these parties together.
Yeah, very good example. One of my clients also collaborated with university in order to find out whether or not their hypothesis is correct. And if this hypothesis is correct, they can save up to 6-figure sum on yearly basis, saving their resources and making production more efficient. So it's a very good example that testing with scientists or universities or labs, very hot topic.
Yes, I think so too. And regarding this G and S, like social and governance part as well.
This is about that a lot. Yes.
Yeah, but this is basically driving the environmental change as well.
Yes.
If we get these parties to collaborate together and support this part extensively, then the solutions will come. And equally saying that all these parties are equally important, not only the business part, not only the financiers, but also the people who are doing the research and helping to put the data together, helping to, I don't know, monitor and do the background research. And then people who actually work with universities or within universities are very important people for the support system.
Cooperation you mentioned,
Yes.
so that's the key word. So I think it's very comforting to know that you are not alone in your company, so that you can somehow join to this kind of networks and tap to this latest information and get new ideas and also experience from other people and other organizations, where they have failed or where they have succeeded so far. So that's important. Anything else? Perhaps there is a small chance for the audience also to ask a question. You can just open your microphone and ask your question, and then close your microphone after your question, or you can put your question in a chat during our last 5 minutes. And while you are thinking what to ask, we will continue our discussion here, and perhaps some examples still. Success stories, some examples that what has worked, what did you try, and how did it come to work, and a success story perhaps. Yes, what to choose, many examples. And we have to keep the confidentiality.
Exactly,
of course. Yes.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one example from the environment, small thing. Energy audit. Everybody can order it. And energy audit showed where the energy is lost. Again, bottom line was a 6-figure number.
Wow.
And if we make the investments, we can already see that, okay, the return of investment or return of sustainable investment is coming together like in 2, 3, 4 years. Maybe from G.
Yes.
Governance. One example, success story from raising awareness a company that had not heard about the ESG, about the regulations, about what's coming, and how it's affecting, for example, government procurements, value-based procurements, and how it's affecting their business. We got together, we talked about it, we trained the whole team, and after some hours, the whole management board was convinced that we have to start dealing with it now. So that was a very nice success story from the point of view of raising awareness. So you didn't know anything in the morning, and by lunchtime you were convinced that that is something we have to prioritize. So yeah, maybe these examples from Estonian companies.
Very nice examples, thank you. Anything to add from your side, perhaps?
Yeah, I consider always the most successful moments where I see different ecosystem partners coming together and realizing they're solving problems that affect like win-win-win everyone. Maybe like waste, food, health, recycling, like different parts combined together, and you see, okay, when we deal with this together, we can win on so many levels. And I like that very much. It's very inspiring for me.
Maybe I can bring an example from kindergarten. Sustainable solution in kindergarten. There is food that is left.
Yes.
And it's shared out to parents on a daily basis.
To parrots?
Parents.
Oh,
if you go and get your kid, you can get the leftover food, which is totally clean, fresh, tasty, and you don't have to cook in the evening. So very good sustainable solution, as food waste is one of the top footprints in the world.
And I will give an example from food waste as well. I work with, I can mention Nutriloop, maybe you already know also. Nutriloop's concept is basically collecting bio-waste, taking that bio-waste to farmers. Then our own soils are going to be restored with this bio-waste. And then you basically grow healthy food and you sell it, and that's circular economy model. Full circular economy model. But since where are the barriers, of course, is that the food is more expensive. So for the paradigm to change, the whole society should shift towards valuing the food that contains more nutrients.
Yes.
Because you can sometimes eat less but nutritious food than to just produce so many and not get any vitamins from it. It's just an example of maybe where we can shift a bit and where we can systematically find solutions.
Yeah, circular economy is something that works in the nature. There are no leftovers in the nature. Everything is consumed in circulation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, very, very inspiring. Okay, it looks like there are no questions, or maybe a small break and pause, one or 15 seconds or less to open your microphone and ask your question. No questions so far. Then just closing comments. What are your recommendations that how to take the first steps, how to move forward in companies? Maybe to recap the discussion today, please.
Well, it starts from the decision and starts from the mindset, and we can choose, as we talked, and the responsibility only arises when we have a choice, and we have a choice to care, we have a choice not to care, and it comes down to making that decision.
So everybody makes their own decision.
Everybody. It's about global Homo sapiens. So it comes down to everybody making a choice to contribute to a solution, not to be part of the problem.
Leading by example.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and love what you do and do what you love.
Okay.
Then you will have inspiration to find the solutions.
All right.
Long term.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining today this morning discussion. And we will now have a very short break. We will change the scene here. Aleksandra, the head of our green micro degrees will come here together with Katri. Please stay online. It will take only 1 minute to change the scene. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and make the right choices.
And hello, we are back. My name is Aleksandra Kekkonen. I am senior researcher and lecturer at Estonian Business School, and I will tell you a bit what we have on this Leveraging Green Economy Innovation Program today. But before that, I'd like to make a short announcement that actually our micro degrees that I will be talking about are the part of master program. And already next week, we will have next webinar where you actually can learn more about enrollment to MA programs. Please follow our social media for that. And now let me present you programs that we are developing at EBS for master level and also MBA level. Basically, we have Leveraging Green Economy Innovation Program, which is aimed to train specialists, entrepreneurs, and everyone who are interested to understand all those very difficult concepts about sustainability and actually how to implement them practically for companies. And in the beginning, I'd like to say that in all, we have 3 micro degrees, and each of it has several courses inside. And the program designed in a way that first you got umbrella view and understanding of all definitions, all concepts that you need to know about sustainability, climate crisis, clean tech entrepreneurship, etc. And then we go to company level deeper. For example, we have a sustainable and green finance micro degree where you will learn everything about green finance, green investment, and also legislation connected to that. And then we have Going Green company level changes where we actually go into detail with how companies can deal sustainability related aspects. Let me start with the first micro degree, which I'd like to present. And this is Business in Times of Sustainability Crisis. So basically, it's aimed to bring you understanding that we live in a very difficult world where we have quite a lot of issues coming on. Climate is changing, we have biodiversity loss, overconsumption, overpopulation. And then we'll try to find out the answer for the question, what should we expect from these environmental changes and how it will affect your life? But not only your life, but how businesses should adjust to that. Will it be enough to bring small changes, or you will change your business model in the future? And in this micro degree, we have 3 courses where we actually cover quite a lot of topics like sustainability, crisis, planetary boundaries, bringing ideas how to build your system thinking, learn about sustainable development goals, its history, evolution, and how it is implemented right now within companies, countries, and then how to mitigate climate change and make these adaptation strategies. Let me go into each of the course into more detail. Second course, which we have in Foundations micro degree, is Clean Tech Entrepreneurship, where actually we try to figure out how clean tech sector can foresight and actually understand all these enablers, latest trends, and different hindering factors, and how this all can be implemented and how it can help. And then you will learn very different categories and types of clean tech entrepreneurship, main factors that accelerate and where they hinder the clean tech development and growth. You will dive deep into Estonian and Baltic clean tech sector, and also will understand how to mitigate and adapt different strategies for your companies and countries. And probably you'll get an inspiration whether to change your business model or to get network with those type of companies which are presented in clean tech to enhance your business. Also, in all our micro degrees and courses, we have a lot of speakers from industries where actually you can get really practical examples. And the final course in the first micro degree, which is Green Economy Foundations, is defining sustainability strategy. This course is trained from experienced strategists who worked in this field for quite a lot of years. And actually in this course you will understand how to integrate environmental, social and governance principles into your organizational strategy, and whether to change it or to adjust it, and how to actually highlight all what you're doing for the better impact in your business. Topics that will be covered, also kind of umbrella topic, which will help you to go deeper during the next micro degrees. Basically, the triple bottom line, stakeholder theory, then a green economy, how to set different objectives for strategy development, how to make organization design, and how to make proper communication. Next micro degree that I'll be speaking about is sustainable and green finance, and it has inside 4 different courses related to sustainable finance. The first course is Influence of Sustainable Finance, where actually you get the understanding of these strict regulatory requirements coming. This is more umbrella course, which will bring you understanding how your company should be compliant to sustainability standards, which requirements exist for these very significant transformations. And you will understand the connection between the sustainable finance and then sustainable development goals, how to actually implement that on a financial level and in policy implementation for your company. The next course is more detailed with the finance topic, because it actually goes directly to financial management and understanding of financial sector, how environmental factors influence financial institutions, investors, what transformation is going on. And I would say that in this course you'll have to calculate a lot and understand how to bring these very abstract financial theories to your particular companies or case study if you still don't have any. And this course is a bit multidisciplinary, because it's not only about the finance and investments, but also it will touch a bit business administration aspects, and then you understand why we were talking a lot in the first micro degree about these very different environmental studies. The next course, which I'll describe you, is EU Sustainable Finance Strategy and how it will work in practice, because on EU level we have quite a lot of legislation changed. Basically we have EU taxonomy of sustainable finance, and also we have this corporate sustainability reporting directive adopted and implemented. So basically this course will help you to understand how your company can actually adjust these new requirements in legislation, and you will get this information from very practical, from practitioner who has experience in this field with implementing EU sustainable taxonomy. And the final course is also connected to finance, but a bit in an indirect way. Its title is Why We Talk About CO2. And then since nowadays companies face quite a lot of terminology and also relation to CO2, different scopes, greenhouse gases emissions, basically in this course we will try to understand all the differences between these offsets, about carbon taxation, and we will have a global and company perspective on this aspect, and how actually your company can implement this approach. As hint, I would say that in this course we calculate all three scopes of your footprint for company or for case study company, so that you understand very practically and in detail how it should be set up. And now I give a floor to my colleague who is leading the third micro degree, Katri, please.
Thank you, Aleksandra. I will introduce the third micro degree in this block of sustainability-related micro degrees. And my name is Katri Kerem. I'm assistant professor of marketing here at the Estonian Business School, and one of my key interests is sustainable marketing. In this Going Green and company level micro degree, I'm joined by 4 really fascinating and experienced teachers who you also see here on the slides. And you see also titles of the courses inside this micro degree. We have Ivo Krustok from Swedish Institute of Environment, who will be providing very good insights on the legal and policy side of company level aspects in sustainability that you have to be aware of. He will be participating in the course on sustainable marketing and sustainable business strategies for circular economy as a guest speaker. Then we are really honored and happy to have Gerli Kantfas as a teacher in this micro degree. Gerli is one of the most experienced circular economy specialists in Estonia. She has a relevant PhD from Copenhagen School of Business and has been working as a consultant to several Danish and other companies regarding their circular business practices. And she also teaches at Estonian Business School and Copenhagen Business School. Then as a third team member, we have Mari Kooskora, who is our corporate social responsibility and business ethics teacher here at EBS, but she has also vast experience on advising companies on their CSR policies. I am teaching the sustainable marketing course in this micro degree, and our fifth team member is Mehruba Haq, who is our junior researcher and also a PhD student, and she is teaching product lifecycle design and assessment here in this micro degree. You see her posing in front of shelves with footwear, so her practical interest has been in helping a footwear company to design their products so that sustainability is taken into account. Following, I will very briefly also introduce the courses in this micro degree. The first, also kind of umbrella course to our micro degree is Sustainable Business Strategies for Circular Economy by Gerli Kantfas. And this serves as a foundation to other courses in the micro degree, emphasizing the importance of circularity, explaining why we need to think in terms of circularity, and how then businesses can achieve better circularity, work towards this goal. Gerli will bring in business model thinking and introduce different approaches to strategy development. Also, she looks inside organizations, organizational culture, how to have your organizations on board, supporting moving towards circular business, towards implementation of new approaches. She will also touch data side and technology side that are important enablers in moving towards circular business, and in her course there will be also a lot of practical exercises for the participants, and she also will bring in several interesting key speakers into her class. The next course, Professional Responsibility and Ethics, well, it is almost inevitable that this topic should be part of all our sustainability courses, sustainability micro degrees. Here it is as a dedicated course by Mari Kouskora. And of course, we all have experienced, seen, read from media that in spite of the importance of ethics and responsibility, companies still have a lot of shortcomings in this field. They neglect the aspects of ethics and responsibility either purposefully or also very often accidentally, because they are not aware of the consequences of some of the activities the company might undertake. And in the worst cases, these situations lead to reputational damage, also legal consequences. So this course will give good overview of different theories to ethics in business and leadership. It discusses corporate sustainability, how to make sure that the behavior of people inside organizations is ethical and responsible, how to develop ethical values for a company and create trust. It also has a huge emphasis on personal and professional responsibility of individuals. So the course is also beneficial for all the future managers, but everyone who actually works inside the companies. And it also touches on how to make sure that the decision making inside the organizations is ethical. The fourth course is here Product Lifecycle Design and Assessment by our junior researcher Mehruba Haq. And she will take an advanced view on product development to make sure that environmental sustainability and also other aspects of sustainability are taken into account from the very start when a company starts the journey of product development, because it is very crucial to start with these considerations in mind, not try to build sustainability into your product in the later stage when it might already be complicated. Mehruba's course is very innovative in terms of methodology, so students will work on projects on product lifecycle design throughout the sessions. She will introduce lifecycle design methodology, also assessment techniques, and teach you step by step throughout the process how to design a product throughout its life cycle with all the sustainability criteria in mind. And then the fourth course here in this micro degree is Sustainable Marketing, which I will be teaching. Well, marketing has got quite a bit of a bad reputation in the recent years, and as was also mentioned in the first part of this webinar in the discussions, that there are a lot of negative consequences of marketing, like greenwashing, that can have a huge negative impact on businesses in general, because when consumers start perceiving green marketing as greenwashing, it has a spillover effect also to these companies that actually have honest marketing practices. Greenwashing erases consumer trust toward marketing, not only regarding the company who is involved in greenwashing, but also it decreases trust to honest green marketing claims. So it is in the interests of every business that actually no one is engaged in greenwashing. So this course will be looking between synergy of marketing and sustainability, and it actually looks at marketing and sustainability and their touch points from two different perspectives. So one is to show the participants how to market sustainable products in a more efficient way. And the other approach is how to actually do companies' everyday marketing activities in a more sustainable way. So, for example, we had a very interesting guest from an event marketing agency who was discussing sustainable event management with participants. We will look also a little bit on behavioral change theories. So if we want our consumers to start taking sustainability into account in their decision-making journeys, how to facilitate that. Then, as mentioned before, at the introductory slide, we have Ivo Krostok also, who will discuss as a guest in this course the Green Claims Initiative that tries, at least in the EU, to somehow regulate how and what companies can say about their sustainability initiatives to the customers. And we will also look at the negative consequences of marketing in general on sustainability and how to aim to avoid pitfalls in this area. So this was my short overview of the third microdegree in our 3 microdegree set of sustainability-related microdegrees.
Thank you, Katri. And before we go to questions from the audience, if any, I would like to say that each microdegree is session-based and it takes only 9 weeks. So the first microdegree starts in August already, and the second one will start in October, and the third one will start already in the end of January. And you, as external audience, for example, can take each microdegree separately if you need very specific need, or even you can enroll for each course which are the most relevant for your business activity, like sustainable marketing or life cycle assessment or even strategy building. Thanks for your attention. And now let's have a look if we have any questions from audience. Basically, I don't see anything in the chat. I would like to say that if you have any questions about how to enroll our microdegrees or the courses, please follow our webpage and all contact information is there. And sales will start in August already, so you can appoint some interview or information session with our program coordinator, who will provide you more information about any question you will have about those programs. And meanwhile, thanks for your attention, and see you next time.